Hi, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Sauter with Make Social Learning Stick, here with Rebecca Branstetter and Kristen Baisden to talk to you about the 3 E's within positive discipline to help with challenging behavior. And I'm going to kick it off to Rebecca, who's a good friend of Kristen, so she can introduce her.
Hi, for those of you who don't know me, I am Rebecca Branstetter, co-creator of Make a Stick Parenting with Elizabeth, and with us is Kristen Baisden, who is a school psychologist who I met at a conference, and we hit it off right away because we both love to geek out on all of the wonderful things to do to help parents when they have kids in challenging moments. She's an adjunct professor at California State University in Sacramento and an expert in positive discipline. So I'm really interested, what is positive discipline? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. Positive discipline is a child guidance model that was developed by Jane Nelson and is based off the work of Alfred Adler and Rudolf Dreikurs. And so the positive in positive discipline refers to connection, and then the discipline refers to teaching.
Mm-hmm. So this is something that I am extremely excited to bring to our community because I've learned a lot about social cognition, social communication, self-regulation, executive function throughout the years. But then when I really was trying to implement it with my own family and the families that I support over the years, you need some sort of philosophy and some go-tos and strategies to how to teach this and not just slap on some strategies and you can't really, I call myself a mom at this, do that therapy at home. So this has really helped me and many of the families that I work with. So can you tell us about the 3 E's and this wonderful strategy that I hope will help our community?
For sure. Yeah. So how do we learn and how do kids learn? The 3 E's: by experience, by example, and with empathy. So that experience, the road to wisdom is paved with mistakes. Mistakes made early in life are far more affordable than mistakes made later in life. So mistakes are wisdom builders, I like to call them. And then example, kids learn by example. Kids learn far more from the example that we set than from the lectures that we give. And then why is the next one so important? The empathy, because we're modeling that for the kids. So with empathy, empathy allows kids to learn from their mistakes. Anger allows them to blame us for their problems. So that difference between example, experience, and empathy.
Awesome. And Kristen, can you give us some specific things that maybe parents could say when they're in these pitfall situations, like what we call them in our course is the pitfall situations, and then we give parents these ladders and tools to be able to pull them out. But maybe positive discipline has some really great, simple things that you can say to help.
Right. So here's just a soundbite. Minimal words as possible with our kids, right? That can be hard to do. The fewer words we use, the more effective we become. So some examples, here we go. So instead of saying, "You're okay," and listen to my tone of voice, change it up and ask it in a question format. "Are you okay?" Lower your voice. Another example, "That's enough." Kids are arguing or bickering versus, "I'm here to help," or "Is there anything you need?" Another example, "Calm down right now," versus, "How can I help?" And lower the voice. And I always say either like a flat or neutral affect. You know, you don't want to come in with a scowl and you don't want to be sarcastic, right? By smiling. So just a neutral flat affect. Here's another example. "You need to deal with this," versus, "We can get through this together."
I love that. It's the whole empathy thing, and it's leading by example, just like what you said. So being a model for our children to build social, emotional, executive function skills is a key piece of this all.
Yeah, it's such a different feeling, isn't it? When she's coming in with, "How can I help?" By the way, in the history of mankind, no one has ever calmed down by someone saying "calm down," right? It's like has the opposite effect. What happens, Kristen, maybe a quick neuroscience lesson, when you lean in with empathy rather than anger, frustration, furrowed brow, these kinds of moments? Parents it's challenging to come in with that calm, neutral, business-like tone. But what happens with our kids when we do that?
Yeah, so when we use empathy, we raise the odds of placing kids in frontal lobe versus when we come through with anger, frustration, lectures, threats, and warnings, it tends to shoot anyone into brainstem. So when we are able to raise the odds of putting kids in frontal lobe, which has to do with the thinking, reasoning, problem solving, self-control, self-regulation, amongst many other things, empathy opens the mind and heart to learning. So it places them in that frontal lobe where there's clear thinking going on for both the child, and when the adult says something to the child with empathy and sincereness and being genuine, the parents also in frontal lobe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We could go on and on. I have so many questions and thoughts to ask you, but this is a little short snippet of an interview, and we don't want to keep everybody too long. But I thank you so much for sharing and opening people's eyes to the world of positive discipline. And we have a free gift for you, a free download of scripts to say, some of the ones that Kristen mentioned, but also some other ones too that are from our course, Make It Stick Parenting. So feel free to download here and share with other people who might benefit. And if you're interested in more of this type of support for your parenting or another person's parenting that you know might benefit, jump on over to the Make It Stick page to learn more about how to join our course and community.
And fun fact, Kristen is a contributor amongst many who will be sharing a little bit deeper dive into some of these positive discipline and positive parent power moves that I know after seeing her at this conference, I am put into my parenting right away. So really practical, wonderful stuff. And Kristen's an amazing teacher and a contributor in our course. So be sure to download the scripts so that you can lean in with empathy. And then also you can learn more about our course and folks like Kristen who have done a wonderful job contributing to it. So thank you so much for your time, Kristen. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for both having me. Thank you.
And Kristen, where can people find you and find more about positive discipline?
I have a website, powerofparenting.com, but it's power-of-parenting.com. So they can find me there and they can contact me.
Okay, great. And if you want to learn more about positive discipline in general, that's positivediscipline.com.
Mm-hmm. So there's a positivediscipline.com and .org.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for being here.
Great. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.